guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Araceli and this is Araceli Chan DIY. In my channel, you're gonna find tons of DIY inspiration, and I love bringing you guys more unique DIYs, stuff that you may not see everywhere else. If you guys are into that, I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you some super easy and budget-friendly fall DIYs, so let's go ahead and jump right in. While shopping for ideas at Hobby Lobby, I also picked up this buffalo check fabric, which I cut up into strips. Then from Dollar Tree, I picked up some tennis table balls. They come in a pack. You could either find these, and I think they have golf balls, whatever, it works the same. So at the top, I just wrapped that around with some twine, put the ball right in there, and then I twisted the fabric, wrapped some more twine on that, and then just repeated the process. And you can make this as long as you want, depending on, how much fabric you have and how many balls you pick up. Once all of it is done, I did take the very end of the fabric and I just cut it up into strips. On this next piece, I did decide to use more bright fall colors, but I'm thinking this year I'll probably use more neutrals. I'm using some reed from Amazon, and I also picked up these $4.99 bundle of rings from Goodwill. These are woodworking glue sticks, but I use them for all of my projects. They're considerably larger than my Gorilla Glue sticks. I also purchased those from Amazon. Again, you guys can check out those links in the description box. So right here, I'm just cutting the reed to size. Depending on how big the rings that you have are, that's how big you want to cut them. And I'm just going to start gluing them towards the end, like on the opposite side of the ring. And you'll see that I'll put the other ring on top of that once it's all done. But I'm just going to go ahead and clamp these down, make sure they dry up, and just go around and do my design. Okay, so it's all finished. Now I'm going to take a mixture of acrylic paint and water and use that as a stain. As you can see, the rings didn't really, it didn't really work well on that, but it did work on the reed, which is just fine. I think it looks great. And then I'm using a paper towel, but I also like to use baby wipes because the moistness of the baby wipes helps that stain kind of spread throughout the wood. And right here, I'm just using that harvest letter from Dollar Tree, spray painted it, and then I'm adding my fall florals. This adorable pumpkin trio is probably one of my favorites, and I love that I was able to give each one of them a really unique look. So I picked up several different types of pumpkin plaques from Dollar Tree. Some of them do come in a bundle, like the orange ones and then the checkered ones. And I am going to glue them together so that they look a little bit thicker. And again, I added a unique touch to all of them, making sure that it looked as similar as possible to the original one. Here comes my dog walking in the kitchen. So for this one, I added some Dollar Tree pearls, and then this one, I added one of these tile cutout. Oh my goodness, Bella, hello. Yeah, one of these peel and stick tiles, and I love how they all have like a 3D-ish design. And on the last one, I'm going to be using like a cork sheet, like a corkscrew sheet from Dollar Tree as well. That one has like an adhesive back. Now I'm just going to paint everything, and someone did mention that you want to cut out and glue the peel and stick tile piece onto the pumpkin first, because if you paint it, it actually shrinks. I did not know that, so yeah, make sure you glue this on before you paint it. Okay, so let's talk about the genius way I use this little red truck mat from Dollar Tree. I absolutely love this piece. All right, so that Dollar Tree mat, I just literally cut out the little red truck, and I know it's like backing up, right? Like that's the tailgate of the truck. And I'll explain why I have to make a point of that. I did have some extra pieces of wood laying around that I used for my frame. And that piece on the back is like cardboard. It's like the backing from a shelf that I kind of had laying around that I'm using. And right here I am cutting out those tail lights and marking the center of it so that I can what's the word I'm looking for? Drill a hole in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and paint it. I don't want to cover it up too much. I do want it to look distressed. I glued and nailed my frame, and now I'm going to staple the backing to the frame. For those tail lights, I am going to be using some string lights. So I do want to screw in some holes because I'm going to thread those string lights right through them. And then I am stapling this little Dollar Tree basket on here because I'm going to put some florals on there. And then it also helps so that I can put the battery pack right into that and it's not really exposed. So I'm going to thread the string light from the top to the back, and then once I get it all through, then I'm going to bring it back into the hole that I created in the tail light. And just make sure that when you glue this down, you leave the battery pack piece that comes off so you can change the batteries accessible. And I just kind of twirled the string lights into like a circle and put them right into that piece, and I kind of popped up the fabric so they stick all the way through. And in the original video, somebody mentioned that these look like headlights because they're white, which it's whatever. Like if you want to paint these red so they look like brake lights, be my guest, but I think they look cute. Maybe he's just going in reverse, you know, to pick up some more pumpkins, and that's why they're white. All right, that's it for this one. Let's move right on to this wooden round autumn garland, which I absolutely love. You can find these wooden rounds in my Amazon storefront. And by the way, I did use my cutting machine to make my letters, but you guys don't have to. You guys can use decals, you can use stickers, and you can even trace your letters. This one is super simple. I just added my stickers right onto the wooden rounds, and then I did attach some twine to those holes that are already pre-drilled on there, and then I attached a fall garland from Dollar Tree. I hope you guys are enjoying these DIYs so far. If you are, make sure you guys leave me a thumbs up. And then also make sure to follow me on my socials, Instagram and TikTok, so you can see any of my sneak peeks over there. Okay, so these wooden block pumpkins are super simple, but I think they're the perfect piece to decorate your tier tray or any small space.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between.
Some of my favorite items from Dollar Tree are ones that come in multiples, just like these smaller pumpkin cutouts that do come in a pack.
So baby, we should start living now. 'Cause we only have this life. Wanna laugh and wanna cry.
So I think this one is really easy to follow along. I know I'm not really doing the voiceover on this one, but I think it's just simple and easy to follow. By the way, you know, I am using my design space to create like the wording on these, but I also like to use the Canva editor. And again, sometimes I just do hand lettering. So you guys pick whatever's easiest for you and, you know, create your design to fit your style. Happy Fall sign. I did use Amazon items, but I'm pretty sure Dollar Tree or $1.25 does carry Scrabble letters now. Here's another piece that's linked in my Amazon storefront, and then these Scrabble letters I purchased at Dollar General. So these squares you can find at Dollar Tree, but I feel like if you purchase them through Amazon, you get a lot more for your money. And just using a little excess piece from my fabric that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, I love to reuse stuff. So anytime I have extra pieces, I save them just in case. And then I'm adding some wooden blocks right in between two of those and just gluing my Scrabble letters right on there. Never go wrong using lanterns for your decor, and what I love about this one is that you can just switch out the florals to decorate for any season. On this one, I'm actually reusing an old lantern that I made using Dollar Tree frames, and I'm just repainting it. The first time around I didn't paint it, and the paint on those frames is a little hard to stick, so I did have to do a couple of coats. And then I'm just using this Dollar Tree sign, painted it black in the center just to cover up that wording, and then I'm gonna glue my lantern right on top of that and just decorate it with my fall florals and a candle holder. By the way, I think the same day that I went to Hobby Lobby, I went to Goodwill and I found these Hobby Lobby florals or garland for way, way cheaper. So again, don't be too ashamed to go to the thrift stores and see what you find. What better way to celebrate the leaves changing than with this hello sign with some really bright autumn leaves. Last but not least, I recycled this old wooden sign and I transformed it into something that I'm pretty sure you would find at any home decor store. I think out of today's videos, this one comes probably in second because I really like the little red truck one also. But anyway, yeah, I'm just reusing this old sign, and then I did paint the inside of it white, and that little aluminum truck is from Dollar Tree. I did paint black around the tires and the windows, and then I'm using some Dollar Tree rub-on transfers, and you guys can see there I just printed out the words pumpkin patch. I put some pencil on the back, and then I'm going to trace that right onto my sign. I think I didn't film this part, but I did glue some wooden blocks right in between the sign and the little truck so that there's a gap and I can put all of my little flowers and all that good stuff in there. So I have this wooden frame. This one's actually pretty heavy. I think I'm just gonna wipe it down a little bit, clean it up, and then I'm also gonna be using 2 of the fabric pieces from Dollar Tree. And we're gonna make a little bit of everything. You're gonna see some fall stuff, probably not fall stuff. I'm just gonna craft away, man. I printed out a pumpkin stencil and I'm going to pin it onto the second piece of fabric. Alright, so that's all pinned. And then just be careful not to poke yourself with the pins. I always realize it's going to come out different than in my head. Amateur hour! Alright, so you guys can see these are a little loose, so I'm just going to end up cutting them off because that was a waste of time. Okay, this came out nothing like I wanted it to look like. So what I'm going to do is take this off, and then I'm going to overlap the other piece of fabric. I don't know if you guys can see it very well or not, but I drew out a pumpkin, and then now I'm just going to take needle and thread, and then I'm going to go around the design. It's all stitched up. Now I'm going to try to take the fabrics apart. I want to make sure I don't cut the bottom piece also. Alright, I slept on it and now I came back with a fresh idea. So I looked through all of my fall stuff, and this is a DIY I created several years back. So I'm going to use these pieces right here. And then I also have this little pumpkin from Dollar General that was $1. I'm not going to use the actual pumpkin. I'm just going to use it as a stencil and cut a piece out with some foam board. I'm just going to cut these out with an X-Acto knife. And I also have some craft paper from Dollar Tree that I'll be using. I want some texture. This one has texture and a little glitter. And then that one's too pink. I think I'll go with this one. If I try to take them off, I think it's gonna rip like this cork board, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, I did find an old fall stem here. It's all jacked up, but I'm gonna cut some of these pieces and then put it down and then glue them down to the frame. Okay, now I'm going to be making some pom-poms, and I actually bought this at Goodwill also, and it was $2.49. This is literally brand new, so never used it. It has the instructions down here, so you can make multiple pom-poms. Now I gotta figure out how to use it. It looks pretty simple. Just together like that. I think I'm gonna make smaller ones. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this brown yarn. Let's see here. So I'll start 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I want them smaller than that though. I'll do 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now I'm going to cut like in between each of these. Decided to make some bigger ones to see if that works. And I think it just might be the type of yarn that this is. It's very fluffy and like hard to work with. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut these and see if it works. Maybe I'll do that, like a little meatball. grab a different fallish color. We're taking it all the way back to 2017, which was one of my first fall DIYs, and this is just going to be a nice simple wreath that can go either in your front door or I guess wherever you want to hang it. And I just took a wreath form from Dollar Tree as well as some glitter mesh and just wrapped it all around the wreath form. And then to decorate around it, I'm just going to be using a bunch of Dollar Tree stuff, including this little pumpkin wall art thing and then a bunch of fall florals. I also did tie another piece of mesh at the top, and that's where I'm going to hang it from.
Looking for my mother's eyes as I'm staying close to the mirror. A lock of gold, a secret smile, little things I remember. Place a hand upon my heart as her, she was a believer.
This next one is going to be a throwback to 2018, and it's just going to be a really nice framed floral centerpiece.
Sometimes I can feel her arms holding me.
So I'm going to make two different framed boxes. One is going to be with frames from Dollar Tree and then also some foam board. And you guys, oh, look at my little baby girl and them bold eyebrows. My gosh, why didn't anybody tell me that my eyebrows looked horrendous? Oh, my baby was so little. Oh my gosh, back in the day when I used to work while I had her strapped on me. So I just took the little clip things off of the frames and then I just glued the glass into it and then glued the frames together to create a box.
Time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart.
And then using foam board from Dollar Tree, I did cut out a piece that's going to be the base for the bottom, and I'm just going to glue that into the frame, and then also from the inside I'm going to do some glue all around the edges.
Any heart can change you. I see in you my mother's eyes, and I lay your head to my shoulder. A lock of gold, a secret.
Once the foam board box is made, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it with some tulle and then add some string lights to it. And then after that, I will be using some pool noodles as like a foam, like a floral foam substitute, and then using them also as like stands for my candles. And I'm using LED candles. I'm going to be using Dollar Tree pumpkins and Dollar Tree florals.
I will tell you when you get older. I place a hand upon your heart. Every beat is taking me over, and I will hold you in my arms. Pretend we'll stay here forever. Time changes everything, and everything will change in time.
So because this is a pretty big box, you're going to need a lot of filler flowers, and then just in the spots where you can't get flowers, you can go ahead and add some moss.
Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. You call, I fall. There's a legacy between us. We grow, we go, but in the middle, time changes everything, and everything will change in time.
On this next one, it's just going to be a simple hanging basket or a basket that can just kind of sit there even though it's meant to be hung. And then just using the very outer ring of a wreath form from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 2 of those, and then also some rope and a Dollar Tree like fishbowl. And I feel like I should have added a lot more of the fall florals in this one, but I just did like 1 stem.
But in the middle, time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you. Looking for my mother's eyes as I'm staying close to the mirror.
All right, so my fishbowl is all wrapped in that rope, and the very top of my 2 wreath rings were put together with some rope as well, or twine. And then now I'm just gonna take some Dollar Tree wire, and I'm gonna, see how I'm doing a loop right here? I'm just gonna leave that loop like that, and then I'm gonna wrap this around the bowl, and it's gonna go right in between the twine. And then when I get to the other end, I'm just gonna tie that together and make another loop, and that's where I'm gonna tie the wreath form rings in place. Does that make sense? So yeah, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and attach the wreath rings to.
From the early warmth of May to the biting cold of late November gray, seems it shifted in the day, but seasons never last anyway. On the outside.
So for this one, I'm just going to use one of these trick-or-treating pumpkin pails. You could find them at Dollar Tree. I found this one at Goodwill. They always have a bunch of these for cheaper than $1. And then I'm just going to take the little handle thing off, and at the bottom I am going to create a hole, and I'm just going to melt through it with my glue gun, and then just going in there with my scissors just to make the hole a little bit bigger. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm taking 2 of these Dollar Tree like fall leaf hand towels or kitchen towels, and I'm gonna feed whatever fabric I can through that hole. And then once that's all done, I'm just gonna add some like leaves and then a little stem or like the little tree trunks that they sell at Dollar Tree. You guys have seen those, right? I'm just gonna use that as the pumpkin stem.
On the outside, on the outside looking in, wondering if you let me in. On the outside of your love, looking in. The window mirrors your face. What was pretty about it remains no trace. I can't stand here, must move on. But where's the strength to walk away? On the outside.
For this pumpkin topiary, I'm going to be using one of these tin vases from Dollar Tree. I have a bunch of these in my stockpile still. And then I'm also going to be taking 2 of these pumpkins from Dollar Tree. I am going to be taking this top stem off and then just using some regular house paint to paint these over, or to paint these. Yeah, to paint them. I always try to use like the Lowe's or Home Depot paint. I like using like the crafter's paint, but it's not as thick and it's not as, it doesn't give it as much coverage as the regular home paint would give it. And then for the stems, I am also going to be using those little Oh, you guys, I keep forgetting words. What are these little tree trunk things called? Whatever those things called. That I'm going to use them as the stems, and then using some leaves that I just kind of had hanging around. And then I'm going to stick a skewer right through that pumpkin, and that's going to be attaching. It's going to be easier for me to attach the top one on there so it doesn't topple over. Of course, make sure you put some hot glue on top of it just so that it stays a little bit nicer in there. And then glue the edges of the bottom pumpkin so it doesn't fall over. And you guys noticed that in the beginning I did add rocks into the vase. That way it just makes it a little more bottom heavy. And then just in those little crevices, add a little bit of moss. I'm also going to add just some more fall florals, and then also these little decals or stickers. Actually, they're rub-on transfers. Those are from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to use one of those that says thankful and add it right on there. For this home sign, I'm going to be using a piece of leftover flooring that I had from when we did our floors, that little pumpkin tray from Dollar Tree, and then also found these letters at Goodwill for 99 cents each. And I only found the H, the M, and the E, so of course I had to improvise to make the O. On the back, I am going to be putting a sawtooth hanger just to make sure that when I hang it, it's going to be nice and sturdy. And I'm going to use my either Home Depot or Lowe's paint to paint the front of this. And actually it is the Bear paint, so that is from Home Depot, and it's just a flat matte white. And I think I did 2 coats of this, but then I also went in there with my sander just to distress it a little bit. To glue these, I am going to be using super glue because they are kind of heavy and I don't want them to fall off. And just to make sure, I did go on through the back and added a screw on there. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm not going to screw the pumpkin on there. I'm just going to glue it and then add a little fall stem.
She had a broken wing, she's trying to hide.
So this is actually one of my favorite DIYs. I don't always make wreaths, but I was really happy with this one. So for the actual sign, I'm using this Valentine sign from Dollar Tree, and I am going to take that little heart off so I can save it for later, and then just going to paint the brown side with some white paint. I'm not worried about the other side because nobody's going to see it, so I really don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and paint this side. And then the actual wreath, I made it with a hula hoop. I wrapped it with rope. I did run out of rope when I was making it, so I ended up covering the rest of it with some burlap. Alright, so you guys saw that was all glued on there. Now I'm just going to take some fall florals, and I know I have stuff from like Joann's, I have stuff from Dollar Tree, and I'm just basically putting it on there and adding it with some twine. For the sign, I am going to be using some Dollar Tree stickers, and you know, I've been using a Cricut a lot, but before I had my Cricut, I used to do all my signs with like stickers, decals, or my own hand lettering. So here's just one option, and you guys can see that I am sanding it down a little bit. I'm sanding down the letters because they're kind of glossy, and that just gives it like a faded look and a more like rustic or distressed look. So for this DIY, I'm going to be using one of these white chargers from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take a dry erase marker and I'm going to add my letters on here. Once I'm happy with the font and the placement, I'm going to be using a paint marker for the fall one. That's just like a black marker. And then for the love word, I think I used alcohol markers, and I do have those linked in the description down below.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
This next one's pretty easy, and again, one of my favorites. Just using the little boxes from Dollar Tree, some tea lights, and then just some random fall leaves. I'm also taking some jumbo craft sticks from Walmart. I did spray paint the boxes and the jumbo craft sticks with copper spray paint. I feel like I'm so tongue-tied right now. You guys can see it's like a copper spray paint or like a rose gold. Either one will work depending on what color you want to make this. And I am just measuring out the sizes and cutting them, you know, to size and just gluing those on top of the boxes, and I'm just gonna create that illusion of it being a pumpkin. On this part right here, I am making a hole on the back. This is before I had my drill handy. So yeah, just screwing a hole right there, and I'm gonna put my string lights right through, and then on the back I am gonna glue the battery pack down.
Trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling.
So for the little stem, I just cut another piece of the jumbo craft stick, wrapped it in twine, and glued it at the top, and then just gonna start decorating it with some leaves.
I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
This one is probably the easiest of all of them, I think. I don't know, I feel like some of them are pretty easy. So I'm just gonna take a vase from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna use some sample white paint and just add a couple coats of this on there. And this is like the taller vase. They have two different sizes of this, and this is gonna be the taller one.
Some time at your own pace, you need to find your way. I know now you'll never change your mind for something that matters to me. You do not know what I have in mind. I packed our bags, we'll be on our way. The night was long as I waited.
For this one, I'm going to take one of these summer signs from Dollar Tree, as well as some wooden blocks, and you guys can see the sign comes with 3 of these pieces, and I'm just going to take those apart. And then I also have that decal over there that says thankful, grateful, blessed, or something like that, and just, you know, fall flowers or fall florals, whatever you want to use. To make my base, I am going to be gluing some of my wooden blocks together, and then I am going to use some jumbo craft sticks to glue on the back of the picket fence looking things, just to keep them together. And I'm just going to give them a coat of paint. Well, you know, several coats of paint, or however much paint you guys want to use. So enough so that when you put your decal on there, it's going to show through.
I know what matters to you. But what do you want? What's your biggest need? are small, just like the lottery. It's been 72 weeks in this town. I still believe I'll see you again. No matter what, I got off the ground for something that matters to me. But what do you want? What's your biggest need?
I'm not sure where the preview went for this one, but you guys will see it here in a minute. So I'm going to take some of these signs from Dollar Tree, and they did have some little knobs that I actually removed, and I'm just going to add some paint over the logo or whatever the wording said on here. And I am going to make sure that those holes are pointing towards the top. And then taking some Dollar Tree stickers, I'm just going to add the F-A-L-L to spell fall. And these are actually going to go screwed on to a mop handle that I spray painted. You guys can spray paint it whatever color. And then I took the bottom piece of a solar light and stuck it at the bottom. And that's going to go right through one of my tin vases that's just full with rocks so that it doesn't tip over. You guys can see right here, I already kind of pre-drilled the hole. And then I'm going to screw the sign all the way in there. And then at the top here, I'm just going to add another Dollar Tree decor thing that says welcome. It has a nice, cute little scarecrow on it. And obviously, you know, very, very fall themed. And then I didn't show it, but I did stick it into a vase. And you guys will see it here in a minute. This next cute fall tree is going to be made with a Dollar Tree plunger handle and then just some more fall florals and also one of those fall bucket things. I always say little a lot. I always say things a lot. I always say, you know, stuff that doesn't make sense. And I don't know what I'm doing right now. So I left the plunger thing in it because it made it easier for this to just stick right in there and it be sturdy. And so it's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere. And then I just wrapped the handle with some floral tape. And you guys can use the white or you can paint it or, you know, whatever you want to do to make it camouflaged a little more. I feel like maybe if it was like brown, it would be a lot better for fall, but that's all I had on hand and I didn't even think about it until now. And then I'm just going to start wrapping my leaf bundles onto the stem. So I did end up using some burlap fabric and then also some moss to fill the bottom, and you guys will see it here at the end. Alright, so for this tray, all I'm going to be using is some foam board and then also a Dollar Tree placemat and some Dollar Tree rope. I did have some pieces of foam board just laying around, so I cut them to size and just glued them together. I doubled up on it so it's not too flimsy, and then I glued down the placemat on there. And then all I did was just wrap the Dollar Tree rope around. I feel like I used maybe a little too much. I don't think I should have used that much, but it's too late now. This was years ago. So just depending on what type of look you want, use that much rope on there. And then I also did use the rope to make some handles for it. This one you could use as a tray, or you could use as like some wall art. You don't have to put the handles on there, but if you want to hang it up, I think it'll look really nice also. I am using 2 Dollar Tree 8x10 frames. I'm taking the glass out so that I can paint it and not get any paint on the glass. And then I'm going to glue some florals in between. So just going to clean the glass really well, just gluing some florals and some fall beads, and right in between gluing the frames together and just adding some Dollar Tree rope. So I made this candle in a Dollar Tree mug, and I used some candles from Dollar Tree. I just melted them down. This is whipped wax, so you're not going to get a lot. You're going to need 2 of these to make just one single mug candle. And then I just put some water on the stove. I just put it on low until the wax melted. I am literally struggling so bad with my tongue-tiedness. So it was easier for me to lay it on its side and making sure that none of the water went into the wax, and then just kind of twisted it around to make sure that the wax melted evenly. And then I did take out the wick because I am going to reuse that. I did use some vanilla essential oil from Dollar Tree, which didn't work that great. I would just use more expensive essential oil. And then of course if you want to do pumpkin spice or apple cider or something that's more in the fall cents, you could do that. So I would avoid the essential oils from Dollar Tree though, because they don't work very well.
I guess it would be nice if you could interrupt. It's a day like this. It's a day I really would have missed. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been.
This one's super simple. I just took one of these little vases from Dollar Tree that I am reusing from different projects. I just stippled on some white paint. As you guys can see, it's not completely covered, so it does have that distressed look. Just wrapped some twine around it and then added some floral bundles. For this one, I'm using a recycled craft. So this is a Dollar Tree candle holder and then a terracotta saucer from Walmart that I glued together and painted white. And this pumpkin bowl I found at Goodwill for 50 cents. I'm not going to do anything to it because I like it just the way it is. I wish it wasn't as shiny, but I think it's going to be just fine. So I'm just going to glue that on top of the candle holder and just add some greenery. Obviously, you can add some fall greenery, but I'm just going to add some moss and then like some boxwood and call it good.
Yeah, now I know the time I've got, it is just enough to get by. Oh, now I know what it means to grow.
For this beaded garland, I am going to take some wicker orbs from Dollar Tree, and then I also found this beaded car seat thing at a Goodwill, and I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but I think it was like $5 or something, not very much. I just took all the beads off and just put them in a container because it had a lot of beads. So I'm basically just going to start threading everything through. So I'm going to do, a wicker orb and then a few of the wooden beads, then the orb, wooden beads. So just thread it until I get the length that I want. And then using some twine, I'm going to make some tassels for the end.
I'm staying close to the mirror, a lock of gold, a secret smile, little things I remember, place a hand upon my heart as her, she was a believer, sometimes I can feel her arms holding me as forever. Time changes everything, and everything will change in time. Love changes everything.
To make this sign, I am actually using something that I purchased at Goodwill for a couple bucks. I actually just bought this because I thought the pumpkins were ceramic, but they ended up being wax candles, so I didn't end up using them in the way that I thought, but either way, I kept them. So anyways, just taking all of that out and then gonna take the actual box or the crate or whatever that thing is, and I'm gonna give it a little paint job. When I painted it with the white paint, it created more of like a grayish look, which looks just fine. And then I am gonna be using these rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, as well as a little hook, and then also that little beaded wreath, or the beaded garland. This one is really cute and really simple. So I'm just gonna take one of the rings from a wreath form from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna be using some fall florals and then also some wicker orbs from Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna go ahead and thread those orbs onto my ring and just, you know, go with it. Yeah, so just thread those through and then decorate it with the fall florals.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep.
All right, so we have an autumn skies and pumpkin spice. No, not spice, pies. Although pumpkin spice would have been good too. So this sign is made out of Dollar Tree stuff. We have a beware sign from Halloween. You guys can see I kind of cut off the edges there. And then I also used some wooden blocks from Dollar Tree, and I just basically glued enough to create a frame that's going to go on top of that beware sign, obviously on the opposite side. On the opposite side of the beware sign, I'm going to paint it white and then, you know, just make it look a little distressed. And I will be staining my frame with just some Dollar Tree paint and water. You don't always have to be all fancy. You know, you guys can use whatever you want. But yeah, I just used some Dollar Tree paint. And basically, what I did with this sign was just use some stickers. And the stickers that I used for this, I know I'm jumping way ahead because I'm still doing one thing here, but Yeah, I'm just gonna use stickers from Hobby Lobby. And again, you know, I've been using my Cricut a lot, but I've made so many different things that doesn't require Cricut. So I hope you guys do see that and don't get discouraged when you guys see me create more Cricut projects. Anyway, let's get back to the show.
From the early warmth of May to the biting cold of late November gray, seems it shifted in a day, but seasons never last anyway. On the outside, on the outside, on the outside looking in, wondering if you let me in. On the outside of your love, looking in. The window mirrors your face. What was pretty about it remains no trace. I can't stand here, must move on. But where's the strength to walk away? On the outside, on the outside, on the outside looking in, wondering if you let me in. On the outside of your love, looking in. On the outside, on the outside, on the outside looking in, wondering if you let me in.
Here I am gonna take two small flat rate boxes from the USPS. I went ahead and folded them up, spray painted them gold. Then I'm gonna use one of these Hula skirts from Dollar Tree, and I'm only gonna use one, and I went ahead and cut it in half to make two individual pieces. This one we're gonna keep super simple. We're gonna use one of these little buckets. These come in a set of 4. And then I also have this, I think it's like a back scratcher or something. It stretches out like that. I'm not gonna paint this at all. I'm just gonna wrap this metal piece in twine and call it a day. And I was actually gonna make a wheelbarrow, but I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of wheelbarrows being made. So I decided to scratch that idea, and all I did was paint this in a silver color, and I'm gonna make this look rusted. And so sometimes simple is good too. I don't always have to go all out, so we're just gonna keep it simple on this one. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of that leftover hula, or some of that leftover Hawaiian skirt. I cut it into little pieces as filler, and one of these little pumpkin clips. Alright, so a lot of the time I'm really just winging stuff, just so you guys know. So we're going to take 3 of these little picket fence things, and they come in a sign form from a Dollar Tree. It's like a summer sign. And then I will also be using some giant craft sticks and probably some Jenga blocks. So the last thing I'm going to use for this DIY is this little Scarecrow, and this Scarecrow had a stick up his butt and he loosened up, so we went ahead and took it out, and now he's gonna go chill. Again, I'm just kind of winging it, so bear with me.
Dressing clouds and suns. Maybe, just maybe, I wanna explore the unknown. Tell me, maybe, I say come, whatever comes. Maybe, just maybe, deep sleep, big heat, cover me, re-energize me, while the fantasy
This was from the thrift store for 79 cents. It's a little crowded over here, but I know where all of my tissue paper's at. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a sheet of that tissue paper and crumple it up. Crumple it up, crumple it up, crumple it up. With a pretty wide brush, we'll just brush it onto the frame. That's what it looks like on the first layer, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing for the last 3 layers.
In the front row, kicking back old school tracks like damn. Can't get enough of this mode, like I don't even know where I am. Ooh, baby, get high.
Take an X-Acto knife and then just trim off the edges that are too long. That way it doesn't like clump up too much. On this last layer, I'm gonna try to go in there like right in the corners or the edges. That way I don't have to worry about trimming too much.
Cause this is our jam. This is our jam.
This is what it looks like. You can kind of still see the lines underneath. I feel like I should do a couple more layers, but we're just gonna go with that because it's dry. I'm gonna take this Dollar Tree paint. It's in the color chestnut, and I'm just gonna put a little bit here on a little tray, and then I'm gonna dilute it with some water. And then taking a wet wipe, I'll just dab it in there, and I'm gonna stain on like around the edges. Oh no! I probably should have stained it before I did all the Mod Podging. Okay, now I'm gonna take some matte paint. It's just in white. Okay, and I am gonna be using a brush that's a little bit more fluffy. I don't have black for some reason, but I do have like a cool gray, which is like a dark gray. This one's a warm gray. I might do that one because it says warm gray, but it has like a little brown tone to it. I don't like this warm gray. I feel like it matches too much with this color, and I do want it to stand out. So I guess I'm just going to do that cooler gray, which is... Ah! Oh my gosh. that's okay, not a big deal. I can always just take this off and just put it back on this side. For the most part, I don't think I'm going to hang this anyway. I'm probably going to put it on a shelf. Oh my gosh. And now that I went over it with black, I like the original better.
Can't get enough of this mo like I don't even know where I am. Ooh, baby, get hyped to the beat. Let's go, cause this is our jam. This is our jam. Jam, 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 jam,
So you can't go wrong with a garland, and I'm going to use some of these fabrics from Dollar Tree. I did go out and buy these, but I'm using stuff that I have around here. And then I'm going to be also using some nautical rope. That little bit of fabric made 8 strips of each, and when you open it, like, you still have quite a bit left of that fabric for more stuff. Okay, I'm going to take a couple zip ties and I'm going to make a loop at the end of the rope. I thought I had some white ones, but it's either this or red. I think this will be fine. You could add yarn too, or twine or whatever, but this just makes it easier. Okay, so to make it somewhat even, I'm going to start at the center here of the rope. I think I'm going to cut them into thinner strips. So instead of having them this wide, I'm going to cut all of them in half again. It's just easier to tie them so that they don't look so bulky. So I'm going to fold it in half like that, and then I'm going to put it underneath this way, like that. And then I'll bring these two over the rope and into the loop, and then I'm going to pull it like that. So it definitely looks a lot better like this, but I actually have carpal tunnel in my hands, and so doing this really hurts. So I am actually just gonna do the one tie on here. Okay, so I found one of these from Dollar Tree. I actually don't know if I've seen any like this recently. I've had these for years and years, and then I found a foam pumpkin, and then also some of that Dollar Tree fabric. I'm gonna trace the house on top of the fabric just using some pencil. You can use hot glue on this, but I think I'm just going to use the Elmer's glue because it seems to work just fine for me. But yeah, you guys can use any other glue that you'd like, but I'll just go with this one. Okay, so now I'm going to add a good amount of hot glue on here. Clearly it's melting the foam, so it's not actually going to glue because it melted it, so it went inward. So I'm just going to add the glue onto the fabric. Okay, so I have another one of these, a little bit different, but for this one I will be using some craft paper, and I think I'm gonna go with like a darker green. I also bought this little bag of wooden leaves from Hobby Lobby the other day. They were pretty cheap, 40% off to $3.99. If you guys haven't already, make sure you follow me on my socials, DIY, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. For the gnomes, I'm going to use a macrame cord, and I also got some of these pieces of fabric from Dollar Tree. I'm going to tie a long string at the top of the tassel. So I'm just tying this like a regular tassel. I'm making the little bulb at the top, and then I also tied a longer string at the top of the tassel. I'm going to flip the knot towards the inside and then just pull it through the other piece that I tied around. Cut the bottom section off, and I'm going to flip it and bring that piece of twine right up. I'm going to take the corner of this fabric and just fold it over to create a cone shape. And that's going to be my little hat. Before I glue that down, I'm going to go ahead and take that string and feed it right in here. And I don't have to do it like super tight or anything like that, as long as that string is sticking out from the bottom. Using these wooden leaves, use my alcohol markers, and I turned them into this. I added some twine at the end of the leaves, and now I'm going to add some beads right onto that yarn. I have these 18-inch bamboo sticks that you can find in my Amazon storefront. But I decided to take a little trip to Goodwill, and I found this sign for $3.29, which is more than I would like to spend, but you know what, that's okay. It is a little dusty, so I'm just going to give it a nice little wipe down. This is actually pretty cute, but we're going to cover it up. Stack a couple of them together, and just cut from the corners going up to create that banner look. I drew it out, but you can also use some twine or yarn to glue right across that line. And since I mentioned that, that's actually what I'm going to do. So if that one looked familiar, it's because it's a repeat from a DIY I had done before, but in case you guys missed it, I'm going to repurpose it. So I'm going to take all the gnomes off and then whatever else is on here and then create something different with it. So a lot of the stuff that I make, I repurpose, I give away, or I donate it, right? If I could reuse it, I'll definitely do that. And then I don't always keep the same decor up every year because I make so much of it. And so it's nice to have something like this that you can do something completely new with. Here's another frame that I'm repurposing. This one I did have to take apart because I used like the window clings from Dollar Tree and they didn't stay. I think with the heat up in the attic, they just it didn't shrivel up, but it like came off. So I just decided to reuse this anyway. And I'm gonna see if I can find another design that I like. Okay, so I feel like this one stands out in front of that one. Alright, so would you guys pick craft paper number 1, craft paper number 2, or craft paper number 3? I'm going to reuse that little bit of beaded garland and I'm going to glue it around the frame. On Pinterest and I thought it was so cute, so let's make our version. I'm going to be using these bamboo rings from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take a piece of burlap, and I know this one has lace. I think I can take it off, maybe not. It's okay. I'm just going to flip it, and I'm going to attach it right onto the top of the ring.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? I thought I won you over. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? I thought I won you over. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? I thought I won you over. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? I thought I won you over.
You can use any type of fabric that you'd like. I'm just going to use this fabric piece from Dollar Tree and cut up my little strands. You can make the pieces as even as you would like, or you can do different sizes. Okay, so with any craft, I change my mind a million times. So these are the pieces that I cut to begin with. Then I decided to go shorter, so I cut them in half. So this half, I'm going to fold it over, and then I'm going to just trim it a little bit so that it's a little bit more pointy at the top. This is literally going to be the easiest DIY because there's really not much I need to do with this frame other than just paint the ghost on there. I've been using a lot of browns and golds in my home decor recently. $1.25 was this frame. Who knows how much it is now and where. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this acrylic paint. And then I'm also going to be using a little bit of baking soda to thicken it up. You can see the consistency is pretty pasty. So while this dries, I got an idea to do like little flowers on here. I hope I don't mess it up. I am going to be using some of these Dollar Tree paints. Deep green, deep yellow, goldenrod, and vermilion. I'm going to use a paintbrush with like a really fine tip, and then I'm just going to make like little stems, I guess. Now I'm going to take that paintbrush and I'm just going to dip it in a couple of the different colors and then literally just tap it. To make these pop a little bit more, I'm going to take like the darker flower and then get a little bit of the lighter color and just do like a dot right in the center just to make it pop. I found this a really pretty basket at Salvation Army and it was $2. I'm feeling those rustic vibes, you know what I mean? And I think it's perfect for fall. And I also found these really pretty tulips at Dollar Tree. I love how pretty these are. They're like velvety and I just think it's a really pretty fall color. And I'm going to be using, it's like a pool noodle piece, I guess. I feel like these are some of the better quality Dollar Tree florals that I've found. I definitely don't want all of this green to show, so I'm going to grab some of my moss. Unfortunately, I only have like very vibrant green moss, lycopodium moss. I would rather use like the brown moss. That's all I have. I'll figure it out. There's some moss that literally is in strands. It's like all together. I think I have some, but I'm gonna have to undo a DIY. Okay, so I have another really cute thrift store find, and as you guys can see, it is a shelf. It has the little hanging thing on the back, but we're gonna flip it. So the hanger thing is really rusted. This was $2. Was it from Goodwill? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was from a different thrift store. We're gonna take that off just because it's rusted, and it's actually coming through on the opposite end. Oh yeah, that's super rusted. Then as you can see, one of the little hook things is gone in the middle, so I'm just going to take it off on both ends and kind of wipe it down. Well, time to head up to the attic. Okay, so out of all that stuff that I got from the attic, I found a few more than a few pumpkins. So I'm going to be using deep green and then probably lightening it up with like the goldenrod. Okay, and then I think I'm also going to add some deep yellow in there. This one has a little bit of white with the chalk, or I'm sorry, with the baking soda. Alright, so I bought this pack of craft paper at Michael's and it was $5 for 48 sheets, and I feel like the vibe on these sheets is totally what I'm looking for. And then I also have this little welcome sign that I got at Dollar Tree. I don't want to mess with sanding this off, so I'm literally just going to turn it around and take the tag off from the back. If you haven't already, make sure you guys follow me on my socials at rsellychan.diy, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Not even a flip, because this is literally what I have. So I bought this last year. I don't remember exactly how much it cost, but it's in the shape of a pumpkin, cute little basket, and then it has like the candle holder right here. So I'm going to go grab a candle for it. And you can blame Dollar Tree for raising their prices. So we're going to have to do a lot of thrift stuff, okay? I can go here. Oop. There it is. One of these. That's it. Okay, this is where some scraps are gonna come in. I do have a little bit of cardboard, and then I have a scrap piece of faux leather from Dollar Tree. Okay, so I like this because it has some nice texture on here. And now I'm just basically going to do the same design I did on this pumpkin right on the border of the ghost. love using foam board for crafts. I used to create so many things with foam board. It was actually ridiculous. And I just have a little piece right here. I'm also going to be taking some of these embroidery hoops. I think you could still find these at Dollar Tree. I always see them at the thrift store though. They always sell them in big bundles for probably a better price than you would find them at Dollar Tree. Okay, and I did make something similar to this before, but I decided to do a different look. So you're just gonna take the embroidery hoop, set it on top of the foam board, and you're gonna trace it. A good X-Acto knife. Make sure you guys cut outside of the pencil line. That way it's nice and snug in there. On the first one, I forgot to do that, and so you're gonna see a gap, like between the foam and that. So yeah, just make sure to get it nice and snug to cut right outside of that pencil line. I like that one. I think I'll do a print and then probably a more solid colors. I don't know, maybe this one, just to have it look a little bit different. Yeah, maybe I'll go with the screen and then that print. These little wooden things from Dollar Tree. Okay, so I was gonna take these, but I actually already had a few that were glued together. Just gonna do it here, like at an angle. This is an 8 by 10 inch canvas from Dollar Tree. With the pencil, I'm going to do an outline of a ghost. Now, using a doily as a stencil, I'm going to take a little bit of white paint and just kind of tap right along the edges here. I don't think this is going to work. I wanted to make it look like lacy, but it's not. That's not working. Try again. Okay, I think the trouble that I'm having with this paint is that it is extremely old. So it's quick dry, but it is drying on me like super quickly. And I think that's all I have. I'm just gonna move on to the next step, and I'm gonna try to clean it up on the sides. Taking a pencil, I'm going to draw out like a cobweb. I have a glass paintbrush marker. I'm just going to go over the pencil lines. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll tell myself that now. Okay, I'm gonna take the same colors that I took to create this little ghost frame right here, and same idea. Okay, I'm gonna take one of these like Dollar Tree paint brushes. These are kind of fluffy. They are like hard bristles. I'm gonna tap out a little bit of that excess paint. I literally don't have a strategy here. I'm just kind of going for it. If you look hard enough, these are going to look like flowers. More or less filled it up. And then again, I can start going into some of the flowers. Adding a little highlight in there. Just to make it stand out a little bit more. Okay, very lightly on some, I am gonna add like little stems. I went back into the cobweb and I messed it up. It looks horrible now. Measures 24 inches by 12 inches. I'm going to use some white acrylic paint and just do that. I have this little pack of wooden leaves and I'm going to use these as stencils. This is a stencil after I went over it 2 times. And then as you can see, the leaf is going to stay painted white, so I can use this for a different project. I'm going to take a marker and start filling in this part right here where there was too much paint that went through. That way you can actually see the outline of the leaf. I also have this wooden welcome piece. What I could do is write it out with a paint marker or paint, but maybe I'll just use this stencil to make it a little bit easier. Dry, and now you can spray it with like a sealer or leave it as is if you'd like, but that's totally up to you. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at RSLEChanDIY. I'm going to use this Dollar Tree frame, and I also found some super cute window clings at Dollar Tree as well. I grabbed some craft paper. I'm going to take some window cling and glue it right on here.
The weather's turned.
Oh, sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Oh, God, I was...
Finally, sweater weather. Sweater weather.
It's about time.
God, it's about time.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Oh,
Finally,
thank
sweater weather.
God.
I'm going to reuse this Dollar Tree frame. As you can see, I've already used it before. I'm just going to give it another coat of white paint. I got another sheet of window clings from Dollar Tree, and look how cute these are. I do have to add glue to these if I want to stick it to anything other than glass. This DIY is going to take like 2 seconds. So I have this candle holder from Dollar Tree, and I'm choosing this Stay Cozy window cling, and I'm going to stick it right in front. This Dollar Tree foam pumpkin that I've used before. As you can see, it has a little stump right here and then also some leaves, and this is what it looks like before you do anything to it. But since this one already has the stump and the leaves, I'm just going to use it. I also really like these fabric sections from Dollar Tree. And then of course, as you go around, you can trim it too so that there's not so much bulky fabric. Make sure you don't miss out and you subscribe to my channel, and of course hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post. For this DIY, you'll need some ribbon, different types of fabric, whatever kind you want. This is what I'm going to use. You will also need some twine or rope. I'm going to fold these over just a little bit. As you guys can see, they're kind of wrinkled, but if I fold them over and just give them a nice stretch, some of those wrinkles do come out. I'm going to take the end of my rope here and I'm going to make a little loop. I'm going to grab the ribbon like this. It's going to go under the rope and then it's going to go in between the loop. And then just pull it to tighten it. And it should look like a little tie. Under, in through the loop, and then tighten a little bit. And then some of this fabric is a little softer than the other, so it might take a little bit of work for you. DIY is going to be nice and simple. I'm going to be using one of these Dollar Tree frames. These are actually new to my Dollar Tree. I just picked it up today. You can hang it horizontally or vertically. It has a hanger for each option. I also picked up this really cute fall hand towel from the kitchen section. And of course, you can't go wrong with a little gnome. So I realized that if I cut around the border, there's not going to be one on this side, so I'm just going to cut inside of the border instead. I'm taking Elmer's Craft Adhesive Spray, and I don't typically like spraying this inside the house because it's kind of strong, but I'm just going to do a little bit of it. So with this here, it's going to end up being too heavy, so this is not going to work. You could either center it, but I'm just going to add some twine right here, and I'm going to be using some thumbtacks to hold it down. listen, I go through hot glue like crazy for obvious reasons, but this is my secret. I buy in bulk through Amazon, and you can find the link to this enormous package of glue sticks that are specifically for wood, but I use for everything else. It's linked in my Amazon storefront down in the description. I'm gonna be using these bamboo rings from Dollar Tree. I'm gonna take some of this Dollar Tree foam board. I'll be tracing towards the inside and cutting the pieces out. As I cut these, I'm gonna cut outside of the trace line. My 2 pieces are now cut out. You can use craft paper or vinyl. I'm gonna use this peel and stick from Dollar Tree. Cut this out to be a little bit longer than the circle itself. I'm going to take the ring and I'm going to put it right over the circle. I'm going to push this all the way through so that it's flush with the ring. I'm going to add some glue on the back of the ring. Then standing them up to make sure that they're nice and even. Then I'll attach the small one to the front of the big one. I'm going to be using some of these wood rounds to create the pumpkin stump. I have this maple pumpkin garland, and I'll be taking some of the leaves off. I'm going to start out this DIY with these 2 Dollar Tree truck plaques. I'm also going to be using some jumbo wooden craft sticks. These have 500 pieces in them. They are from Amazon. You can find it linked in my Amazon storefront. I was going to use a Dollar Tree crate to put in here, but instead I decided to put a few more popsicle sticks right there to create a rack on the back of the truck. So I'm going to make a really cute fall pillow using these Dollar Tree dish drying mats. I also found some polyfill at Goodwill, and it was half off, the $4.29. This is going to be the back for this one, and then this is going to be the front. You guys can check out my socials, and I'm on TikTok so much, so see you guys there. I have this really cute wooden gnome that's meant for spring, but we're gonna turn him into a super cute fall DIY. I'm gonna take this flathead screwdriver and just gently push up to remove it from the bottom piece. Okay, you can snap it off and then just cut around here. I was gonna paint it, but I'm actually gonna be using my alcohol markers because I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier to do that. I use a lot of Dollar Tree stuff, but I also use stuff not from Dollar Tree. You can find a lot of my stuff linked in my Amazon storefront. I'm gonna use some peel and stick vinyl for his hat. You can also use craft paper if you'd like. I actually have some extra mop head strands, so I'm going to use these to create the beard. So I'm going to take the strands and then unravel them because it'll give me extra pieces and hopefully cover more of the gnome. And then I also purchased these fall decorations from Hobby Lobby. They were $2.49 but 40% off, so it was a really good deal. So I want this to stand out a little bit more. I am taking a black marker and just coloring it all the way in. Hey, before you guys go anywhere, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. We're gonna use one of these wooden rounds from Dollar Tree. Now I'm gonna paint it using these Craft Smart colors. To make the face, you could either paint it, you can use craft paper. I'm going to be using an assortment of vinyl, peel and stick vinyl, and I think these are labels from Dollar Tree. I just found it and I think this is going to be perfect. So I got my eyes, my mouth, my tongue, and the little white spot on the eyes. So I decided to add another stem to fill it up a little bit more. All right, I'm taking 2 of these Dollar Tree planks. They do come in a pack. I actually purchased these at Dollar General. So I'm gonna glue these together. I'm gonna take this Dollar Tree polka dot burlap. And then I also found this super cute welcome sign at Dollar Tree as well. I'm also going to add some of these faux leather leaves around the sun. I'm going to use this Dollar Tree hanging decor piece, the half of the dish towel that I used for the other DIY, and I also have some extra raffia from other projects. And then I will be cutting a good chunk of this, just like that. I'll cut it right here. And then I'll try to add the other raffia just like this. I bought these pumpkins at Hobby Lobby. They were $9.99, but I got them for 40% off. little bit more of the polyfill that I bought at Goodwill. Just a little bit, just to give this hat a little fluffiness. So there's going to be enough polyfill right here at the tip so that it stands up, and then I'm going to give it a nice little twist. I'm going to add glue right into the creases so that when I twist it over, it just kind of glues onto itself. Alright, look at this adorable tractor from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make it even more adorable, and I'm going to make a little trailer behind it. I have these 2 wood pallets from Dollar Tree also. I had previously glued. So clearly I use tons of Dollar Tree supplies, but for anything that's not Dollar Tree, I try to link in my Amazon storefront. So you guys can go down to the description, click on my Amazon link, and you might find stuff like my glue gun, my glue sticks, and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to take these wooden rounds that I purchased on Amazon. You can find them in my link in the description. Alright, I should have done this before I glued it down to the crates, but I'm going to add a staple right at the bottom because that glue is not going to be enough to hold it together, and I don't want it falling apart. There you go. Now it's nice and reinforced. Alright, let's decorate now. I'm going to use this little straw bale from Dollar Tree and glue it right on here. And then I'm going to add pumpkins and all that good stuff. I'm going to use this Dollar Tree sign and then also this Dollar Tree table cover. I already cut a piece of it off. Now I'm just going to size it to the inside of the frame. I have these little angels that are from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 4 of them, but I'm going to detach the wing from them. I also have my beads from Amazon. These are linked in my Amazon storefront, linked in the description. I'm going to take one of these faux leather fall leaves and attach it right onto the house. Listen, I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule, but in case you guys missed me and want to see some more, you guys can check out my socials, and I'm on TikTok so much, so see you guys there. I bought a huge container of cookie cutters for my daughter for like projects and Play-Doh and stuff. I'm going to be using these 2 pumpkin cookie cutters. Now I can use this for a different DIY. Now taking a pencil, I'm going to trace around the pumpkin shape. And so I'm going to do like one big one and then I'll do a little one, but I'm going to overlap them like this so they're kind of stacked on each other. So I'm taking a bunch of these different acrylic paints and I don't like how dark they are. So these are more like Christmas. So what I did was just kind of mix them around to create a little bit of a pastel color, and oh my gosh, there goes the paint. Yeah, don't do that. So I feel like these are going to be more fall colors than those. I actually truly regret outlining the pumpkins because now they just it's okay. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going.
Is it easy? No. Do I like it? No, I don't. But do I do it? Yeah, I do.
All right, my friends, I think I redeemed myself, so I decided to restart it. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna take some of this Dollar Tree moss and just add a little bit here at the bottom, and then probably put something on here that says like harvest or something. So here's my redemption DIY.
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Where did you find that?
Some kid back in town traded the van for it, straight up. I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Still want to go to Aspen?
Oh, yeah! Okay, let's go, buddy!
For this DIY, I'm going to be using this cutting board from Dollar Tree. I love the size of this, and I do like that it already has like words and stuff on it, but we're going to go ahead and redo this to where if you decide later, you can reuse it and keep everything as is. And then I also found these hanging signs at Dollar Tree as well. I'll be using this really cute pumpkin pie one. On Google, I literally just went to search pumpkin pie recipe design. When I scroll through, there's different designs that you can print. Like that one, you can see that it has like the copyright thing on there. So I'm not going to use that one. So I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to go ahead and print it out. And I literally just raw cut it. Like I didn't use scissors. I basically just did this to it. I'm going to take this Dollar Tree sign and I'm going to hit it with some white paint. I usually use house paint when it comes to using white paint, just because this one's a little bit thin and it doesn't cover as much, but this is what we have today. This is what I'm going to use. Now I'm going to sand it down just a little bit. So using a pencil, I wrote "Today I'm," and then I'm going to go into it with a black Sharpie. You can use a paint marker or just paint over it, but for now I'm just doing a Sharpie. From Hobby Lobby, they were $2.49 but 40% off, so it was a really good deal. It has 6 pieces. It says thankful, grateful, blessed, and I'm going to glue it right underneath the "Today I'm Grateful." And I have this pack of fall leaves. These are from Hobby Lobby. You can see they're $2.49 and I did get them for 40% off. And then I also have these fastener dots from Dollar Tree. These are like the Velcro dots. I'm going to color this in with my alcohol markers. You can use paint or anything else, but I'm just making my life easier these days and I'm going to be using these. What I like about these markers is that you can kind of blend them, so you can use different shades to make it like a different color without having to mess with paints. These already have a sticky back, but I'm going to put just a tiny bit of glue just to make sure that it doesn't fall off. So now this can be taken off and put back on, and the reason I made it like that is because you can change it with the seasons. So I know it says grateful, but you can always change it to like whatever month that you're in. So let's say you're in coming up December, you know, instead of having a leaf, you can put like a little Santa Claus or something that's going to go along with the time of the year that you're in. Now I'm going to take these sticker tags from Dollar Tree, write down what I'm grateful for, and then put them right onto my board. I'm going to take a Dollar Tree beaded garland, different colored yarn, and also one of these that came in the bundle from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to make some tassels, and you guys probably already know how to do them, so I'm just going to go over it super quickly. I'm just going to wrap the yarn over my hand or my palm and then just go around it, I don't know, maybe 25 times or so. So once you have your little loops, then you're going to take another one and tie it right at the top. Then you're going to take that top and hold the bottom, make like a little ball right there, take another piece of yarn and tie it right up there. Now that it's on there, you're going to cut the bottom part like this. There you go. Quick little tassel. And you can make them as thick or as skinny as you want. I think I'll make mine a little bit thicker than this. I'm going to cut it right in the center where there's extra twine to tie around the grateful word. So I made a couple of knots right here, and I'm going to add a little dot of glue, that way it doesn't move around. And now I'm going to take all my little tassels, I made it 4 of each, 2 for each side, and then just start tying them in between the beads. Okay friends, let's make a gnome scarecrow using one of these Dollar Tree scarecrows, and then also some macrame twine or yarn. I'm going to remove the hat and being very gentle, making sure that it doesn't rip, but it's really thin, and if you do it too hard it might just tear on you. See? Just like that, just 4. I'm going to take this wood plaque from Dollar Tree and use it as a base, and I'm going to glue the scarecrow right on top of it. And then I'm just going to start adding stuff around it to make it look a little bit more harvesty. I have this really cute watering can pick that I'm going to add right into the pumpkin. thought I'd say I'd rather go to Hobby Lobby than Dollar Tree. But as you walk through the Hobby Lobby aisles, they are filled with holiday stuff, especially fall. Now, I went to Dollar Tree as well, and everything is just so empty and sad. This is literally everything that I saw for fall. Plus, if you go to Hobby Lobby, you're gonna get 40% off most of the time on these fall items. And to think that an individual pumpkin at Dollar Tree is going to run you $1.75 now is ridiculous. So I would definitely go with a pack at 40% off for less than $5. At $1.75 for Dollar Tree florals, I just don't think that's worth it for me anymore because you can see it's not that full. Now, if you stick to the $2.99 ones at Hobby Lobby, you'll end up paying $1.79, just a few cents more. And I don't know what's going on here with these price tags, but you do get variety at both Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby, but I think you have more of a variety on top of higher quality stuff at Hobby Lobby. Again, you're going to want to stick with the 40% off stuff to make it worth it. So let's look at these fall ribbons that are 30 feet long. There are different price points depending on how wide the ribbon is and then of course the design. But if you go to Dollar Tree, you're going to end up paying $1.50 per roll, and you're going to have to buy at least 4 rolls to get your 30 feet of ribbon. Now on individual things like these napkin rings, I don't think I would buy them individually. I think it's cheaper to just get like the different stuff to make them. So like these wooden rings, that's the original price, but you get 6 of them, right? Then you can go to the fall stuff and get your inspiration from all of the other stuff. I mean, those are really expensive, but if you buy the little packs of like the pumpkins or the leaves, I think it's going to be a lot cheaper to go that way and just glue it. You can add burlap to your rings, you can add yarn. It's not going to be exactly like the ones that you're seeing here individually, but you can make them your own. I'm starting out with the banner from Hobby Lobby, and then I just looked through my stockpile and found this little quarter round thing from one of the hardware stores. I'm not sure. And I'm going to cut this one in half. Really long one. It's 48 inches long. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one is cut out the flower part. I'm going to cut that out because I don't want this part right here. So it's still a banner, okay, but it has a bottom and a top, and then we're gonna make it into like a sign instead of something to write on. I'm gonna be doing some hand lettering here, and I'm gonna try to do it as close as possible. And I really like this saying, fall is proof that change is beautiful. Mine's not gonna be as nice as this because I'm gonna hand letter it. This does not look like it's hand lettered. And my font is gonna be a little bit different than that. All right, I have some of my markers here, and This is a bronze green. All right, let me reuse some of my frames here. This one. Stockpile here. Let's see. I do have this one, and it's from Dollar General. I do have some canvas here. Work my way around the canvas, gluing all the pieces together. And as you saw, I'm just doing one section at a time. That way I can cut it and then like glue it and then cut the other piece and glue it onto the separate one. follow me on my socials at AracelichanDIY. There was one thing that I did see at Hobby Lobby that I'm like, that's too much. I think that it's going to be more affordable for me to put a couple items together from Dollar Tree to recreate it. Oh, not there. All right, here. Yep, bingo. Have this one that was from Dollar Tree. Right now you're going to find these at $1.75. I'm still trying to give Dollar Tree a chance, but every time I go, I end up so disappointed, and I feel like they don't have much as far as fall stuff goes. I saw some Halloween, but by now they should have a lot of fall stuff. I did end up getting 3 of these jack-o'-lantern cutout things. So these are $1.50. So I think for the size, this is pretty good. Let's go in here. Probably just grab like 4. First thing I'm gonna do is prop it up on some blocks, and then I'm just gonna glue those on like the outer edges. Use some tissue paper that I'm gonna Mod Podge on here to give it a little bit of texture. Pull it up. And then now I am going to be going into it with some deep yellow. This is from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use a little bit of a fluffier brush. I have the string lights from Dollar Tree, but since I already have some with the batteries already in there, I'm going to use these. These are from Dollar Tree as well. So that way when I put the battery pack back here, it's flush to those. But I'm going to make sure to leave this part up. That way I can take the batteries out if I need to replace them. I was going to glue them down, but I just wrapped it around the blocks. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you leave me a thumbs up, leave me any comments or questions down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!